Do you care about crypto, more specifically Ethereum, or more generically, the overstep and abuse of power of a government agency? I don't know, let's just call it the SEC. Because if so, you are going to want to listen up. As I'm filming this, the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, is being absolutely grilled, absolutely annihilated, absolutely embarrassed by Congress. Now, within this testimony, there's a lot of highlights, but the question that turned it into an absolute clown show was a simple one. Is Ether a security or is Ether a commodity? You have to see for yourself everything else that transpired.
Thank you, Chair Gensler. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain. Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month,
Commonly
CFTC
cited.
Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney
Awkward
General of
contradiction.
New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Before we let him respond, there's a couple of things that I want you to notice. First of all, always look for vague answers, deflection of question, and also look at Gensler physically. As you're going to see throughout this very small clip, he's shaking quite a bit. So I don't know if he didn't get enough sugar this morning, or if he's nervous or doesn't feel comfortable in his answers. It's just wild in its entirety.
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities, but I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity and an included commodity. I'm sorry, Chair, just to talk about the Commodity Exchange Act more precisely.
Vagueness,
Okay, so
avoidance.
do you recognize, how would you categorize Ether then?
Right there. Super straightforward. How would you categorize Ether? Just tell me straight up. What do you, as the chairman of the SEC, actually think?
Look, I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s, but as amended.
I'm asking you,
here,
sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
without speaking to anyone.
Shaking.
I know you've
Okay,
repeatedly
it's
said
a
you're not
matter
going to
of
speak to
facts.
one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs in the
I'm asking
middle
about
and the
one.
public is anticipating a profit based on the...
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals...
I'm asking you about the
in
facts and the
middle-
law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
I absolutely love this part. The chairman of the SEC, when asked a question, a simple question, is Ether a security or commodity, says it depends on the facts and the law. This is a congressional testimony. The person who's supposed to be interpreting the facts and the law and apply it, it is here. You have the chairman of the SEC speaking with Congress. Who else is supposed to answer this for anyone residing in the US? Absolutely blows my mind.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also...
But you have
aware-
prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset. What is your view?
And my view is if there's a group of individuals in the middle that the public is anticipating...
All right, so let me just ask a
based
second
on those
question then.
efforts.
Do you think it serves the market for an object to be viewed by the commodities regulator as a commodity and the securities regulator to be viewed as a security? Do you think that provides safety and soundness for the product? Do you think it provides consumer protection? Do you think it serves the value of innovation? I think no should be a very simple answer for you here.
I think
That uncertainty is bad, is it not?
And I think that Congress has said that there's one agency, the Securities and Exchange Commission, under this committee.
And you won't answer my question, and you're the head of that agency. So give me a break. Come on.
I'm answering it in the generic because you would not want me to speak about any one set of facts and circumstance.
Okay, so
Well, who's going to
But
speak
you've already
about it
spoken.
then?
Have you said anything about Bitcoin?
My predecessors and the agency itself has spoken to them.
Okay, but you're not willing to do the same about Ether. Okay,
think
so let me just step back. There's a lack of clarity here in the marketplace. Can you at least agree to that?
I think that the clarity is there. The law is clear
All
that
right.
there's a group
So
of individuals
let me
who rely on
be
the
explicit about this. The market doesn't see it. Your regulatory actions and the CFTC's regulatory actions say that there's a great deal of uncertainty here. It is the intention of this committee to fix that uncertainty and actually provide a sound legal basis for this.
Absolutely amazing. Avoiding all of the questions with vagueness, indirection, and also just giving a TLDR version of the Howey test. And the general trading investing public is no more protected. The reason I'm bringing that up is because of the final questions of, this uncertainty is not good for markets. And obviously the SEC should be caring about that because their job is to protect everyone involved in said markets, except we're now in a situation where they're the ones prompting uncertainty, and then we're not getting anywhere closer to figure out what's going on because the organization that's in charge of actually getting us to a solution refuses to answer any questions. That is the state currently of the Securities Exchange Commission in the US. It blows my absolute mind. With that being said, I'm still happily invested in both Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I am getting very concerned of how the SEC and the CFTC is handling this whole situation. So obviously, fingers crossed that we get to some sort of reasonable solution in a timely manner, but I don't know if I would necessarily bet on that when it's involving the US government. But obviously, with all that being said, let me know your thoughts in a comment below. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm completely off base? I would love to hear from you.